Quiet nights are longer now at Collinwood, as the season continues its advance toward the still distant fall. Succeeding days surrender to the coming night without complaint, and nature would seem to have made a truce within itself. But deep within the night, opposing forces stalk each other. Forces so opposite no peace is possible, and their meeting, when it comes, will shatter the ancient truce between the living and the dead.
I'm not sure I believe that.
Well, it's true. I was up most of the night, and I was asleep when you arrived. I don't feel the need for apologies.
I'm not asking for an apology. I'm asking for an explanation.
In either case, then, you're asking for something I am not prepared to give.
All right, then. You leave me no choice.
About what?
I'm going to remove my patient from your care.
What do you mean?
I'm going to take Maggie away from Wincliffe.
Oh, you can't do
No,
that.
you know perfectly well that I can, and I'm going to. Now, her father put her in my charge. I sent her to you only for special treatment.
Which I'm giving her.
Well, I see no evidence of it.
Is evidence of treatment always apparent?
No, but evidence of the lack of treatment often is, as in this case.
Well, what evidence do you have that I'm not treating Maggie?
Julia, for one thing, you're 100 miles away from her.
Only to carry out some necessary research.
I'm sorry. It seems to me that the research has become more important than the patient.
Oh, they're one and the same thing. I've told you that.
Julia, I'm sorry to say this, but I'm convinced that you're neglecting Maggie. I'm going to take her away from Wincliffe as soon as I can.
That's not what you believe, and you know it.
I'm through arguing with you.
I'm not through arguing with you. What you're really objecting to is not my treatment, but my manner.
That's not true.
It is. You're angry because I haven't given you a day-to-day report.
Only because I think I'm entitled to it.
I agree. But I've told you again and again that I can't give you any reports yet.
That answer isn't satisfactory anymore.
Oh, in a way, I don't blame you. I'm getting a little impatient myself.
What do you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry to say I've made almost no progress at all.
You mean you haven't come across anything?
Not a thing, but I would like to keep at it for a little while anyway.
I'm a little surprised. I've never seen you discouraged before.
So far, it's all been very tedious.
You know, you've never really made it clear exactly what you're expecting to find.
Oh, the way things are going, I may never find anything. I have a feeling that I'm going up a blind alley.
I'm sorry to hear that. I know you had great hopes.
Well, maybe I was wrong.
You know, that doesn't sound like you, Julia.
Oh, it's me, all right. So you can see why I haven't been giving you any reports.
Are you telling me the truth?
What do you mean?
Are you sure this isn't just another tactic to get me to stay quiet and keep out of the way? I know you for a long time, Julia. You always know what you're doing and where you're going. If you don't waste time. You know something. I know you do.
I know that I'm tired. I'm a little bored. Very, very bored. Then you'll let Maggie stay on at Wyncliffe.
I suppose we shouldn't even be mentioning her name.
But you'll let her stay?
Yes, I suppose for the time being.
Trust me.
Oh, I do. I suppose I shouldn't, but I do.
Maybe it would be better if we didn't have these meetings here. I mean, people might really find out I'm not really doing historical research.
Well, maybe from now on we can try to arrange meetings at my office.
Oh, Vicky, I was just about to answer.
I'll get it. Hello, Dr. Woodard.
Hello, Vicky. I guess I should say goodbye. I'm just leaving.
Oh, has Miss Hoffman told you about the exciting work she's been doing?
Oh, yes. I just got a full report. Very exciting.
Barnabas, come in. You know Dr. Woodard.
Of course. No one's ill, I hope.
No. Just a social call on my friend, Miss Hoffman.
Oh.
Well, good night, Julia. And hope I see you soon. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Dave, I will.
Bye. Mr. Collins, Vicky. Thanks, Vicky.
Well, I didn't know that you and Dr. Woodard were old friends.
Oh, yes, from undergraduate days. Then he went on to medical school, and I went into historical research.
Apparently.
Are you sure, Mr. Collins, that I can't change your mind about cooperating with me?
As a matter of fact, that's why I came.
Oh?
I'd like to have a word with you. It won't take long.
Oh, I'll get my notebook.
Oh, there's no need for that.
Oh, I'll be right back.
I'm glad that you're going to talk to her. Perhaps you'll even let her look at your library.
And how have you been enjoying the work?
I'm not sure.
Oh? But I expected that you'd be enjoying it immensely.
So did I.
Well, what is it?
I get so confused.
Confused?
Yes, confused about the past and the present.
Well, I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Well, sometimes I fear that I'm going to lose the present altogether.
Is that necessarily so bad?
Oh, yes.
But why? I thought you loved the past.
I do. But I get frightened
Of what?
of being trapped.
Trapped?
Yes, sometimes I think that I'm going to get so far into the past that I'll never be able to get back.
Well, you mustn't be afraid.
Mrs. Stoddard let me do the work with Miss Hoffman in the hopes that it would give me an objective view of the past. Doesn't seem to have helped.
You're as attracted to it as ever.
Yes, I am. And it's got to stop. I hope that you won't be offended by this.
By what?
Josette's music box. I think I must give it back to you.
But why?
It's so difficult to explain. It has such an odd effect on me.
In what way?
It seems to cast a spell, and I find myself playing it all the time. I can't seem to stop playing it in spite of myself.
But it can hardly hurt you. The music is lovely, and Josette herself was enchanted by it.
I know that.
Well, please, you must keep it. I'd be very hurt if you didn't.
But then, what am I to do to keep from being so attracted by the past?
You know what I think you should do?
What?
Well, I think you've been so deeply affected because the music is so unusual. But I think that you should let it become quite ordinary.
You mean that I should let it become even more familiar?
Well, doesn't that make sense?
Yes. I guess it does.
Well, then try it and see. And if after a while that you're still disturbed by it, then I'll take it back. And please, don't be afraid of what being trapped by the past means. After all, one should be afraid of being trapped by the present. I hope I didn't mislead you. All I wanted to do was apologize for my behavior the other day.
Oh, I see.
It was rude and a little abrupt. I apologize.
You know, of course, what you could do to make up for it.
My apology isn't sufficient.
You could tell me what you know about your namesake and his sister, Sarah.
I told you. I know nothing.
What puzzles me is why nothing had such an effect on you.
Well, I have heard parts of the story, as everyone has, and it's always been deeply affecting.
Sarah was the only one he seems to have loved. And from the picture, one can understand why.
Please, I'd rather not discuss it. If you've accepted my apologies, and you're willing to forget the entire situation...
Even, I remember the picture. The picture exudes an innocence. She was a lovely child.
If you'll excuse me, I really must leave.
Of course, the person I really care most about is your namesake, the original Barnabas Collins.
A rather dull person from all accounts.
All accounts?
Well, from all the accounts that I've come across.
Oh, then perhaps I've uncovered some things that you're not familiar with.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I find Barnabas Collins, oh, not you, of course, the original Barnabas Collins, the most fascinating of all the Collinses.
How can you? He went to England when he was very young and died there almost obscurely.
So the story goes.
You mean you've uncovered some new facts?
I told you when I first met you that I knew a great deal about a great many things.
May I ask what you've discovered?
Oh. If you remember, at the time I offered you an exchange of information. I would tell you everything I knew if you would tell me everything you knew. You refused.
I can't believe that you really have found out anything startling.
Maybe I have, and maybe I haven't.
Have you been doing some special research on Barnabas Collins?
Yes, I have. Very special.
And what would you like from me in exchange for that information?
Oh, my original offer still stands. You tell me everything you know, and I'll tell you everything I know.
Well, it hardly seems fair, since obviously I know so little by comparison.
Do you?
If you're willing, perhaps we could talk tomorrow at my place.
I'd like that very much. Shall we say tomorrow morning?
I'm afraid that wouldn't be convenient.
Oh. Well, tomorrow afternoon, then.
I won't be available until the evening.
I understand. Completely.
I look forward to it.
So do I.
Then it's agreed.
Very definitely.
Then until we meet again.
Until then, I'm happy it's to be so soon.
So am I.
I've never been able to get used to the resemblance between you and this portrait.
It is amusing, isn't it?
Amusing. I find it uncanny.
Well, my cousin Elizabeth finds it almost unbelievable.
Oh, unbelievable. I don't find it unbelievable. I find it completely believable. After all, you are closely related. Very closely related.
Yes, aren't we? Well, thank you for your interview, Miss Hoffman. I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to our next meeting.
I can hardly wait. I can't wait till tomorrow. And I'm sure you can't either. Who is it?
Miss Hoffman, it's Vicky.
Come in.
I hope I'm not bothering you, but could I talk to you for a few minutes?
Of course, what's wrong? You look worried.
I don't know what to do.
About what?
Well, I don't know whether I should continue working with you.
But I thought you were enjoying it.
Well, that's just it. I am.
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, I'm beginning to feel that my attraction to the past is not normal, and I'm afraid of getting trapped in the past.
Well, if that's really the way you feel...
Miss Hoffman, how do you do it? How do you get so close to the past and still stay so objective?
Are you so sure I am so objective?
Oh, yes, you are. I can tell. To you, this is just a job.
Oh, I like to think it means a little more than that.
Oh, no, I didn't mean that you don't take it seriously. I meant that you don't let it take over.
Thank you. But there are those who have said I'd let my work become an obsession. That I'd do anything for the sake of it.
Oh, but that's not true.
Well, whether it's true or not doesn't matter. The work itself is what's important. If that means losing my objectivity, then I gladly let it go. What's the matter?
That dog.
Is there anything unusual about that?
It's getting closer.
Well, don't be upset. You look frightened.
I heard a dog howling the night that Maggie Evans vanished. I suppose it's nothing to get frightened about, but I keep remembering.
I wouldn't let it worry me if I were you.
I seem to get frightened about so much lately.
Why don't you get a good night's sleep and then we'll talk it over in the morning?
I'm sorry I'm keeping you up.
Don't worry. There's nothing for you to be afraid of.
Thank you. I hope that dog's not going to keep that up all night. Night.
Good night. Good evening, Barnabas Collins. I've been waiting for you for a long time. A very long time.
Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.